just see what...
It's a brave man that's going to sit in front of Jonathan Brown leading too.
Yeah, sorry, Joe. You see what missed tackles did there. I think Murphy missed one. I think Hadley missed the tackle. If you miss the tackle and provide Johnson with the ability to hit the target, I would imagine Brett Redden would be very disappointed with that. Their focus is tackles, and you can't afford to miss them that close, in the middle of the ground when Brown's leading up the ground.
See Thornton and Waite on screen there.
Guys are on it all the way up.
They know that Jonathan Brown is the go-to man.
Here we go.
So they're making sure they play close to him, almost with a double team. Jacobs in the ruck now against Charman. All knocked down. Gibbs, Judd. Gave it back and then provided the Shepherd. Joseph. Lead from Betts. One-on-one with McGrath. McGrath's fist wins. Ball in.
Well, Dwayne, at the centre bounce, Waite's giving Drummond a fair leg rope, and Drummond's really playing the forward line. But then as soon as the ball goes forward into Carlton's forward line, Drummond for Brisbane drops back and now sits free in that forward 50.
Charman, a free kick against, and he has got a poor free kick record, Jamie Charman. It's one of the flaws in his game. He might claim he's unlucky. Jacobs gives it off. Gibbs. Tough one for anyone to mark. Simpson flies and made it look easy, Cade Simpson. It wasn't his ball, but he looked around and no one else was going for it.
Yeah, look, I think people will sit here and probably be critical of Joel McDonald and say he should have punched, but Joel McDonald actually felt like he was the one dropping back in front of the pack that was coming. And the pack just doesn't get to the kick. You can see it arriving. Cameron Cloak was the intended target, but it was just better judgment. Cade Simpson chimed in, got the good leap in front of Joel McDonald and took the mark.
To get the lead back. Starts at left. Doesn't come back enough.
He's missed the goal there, Dwayne, but a terrific mark. It's very hard to play against a guy who's coming back with the flight of the ball. It's very hard to spoil and man-on-man him.
McGrath with a short kick in. McDonald. Danger here. McGrath knocked clear. Albert Proud. McDonald.
Trouble.
Black. Judd comes at him. There's trouble. He's gone. Ball still under there. Judd dragged it in.
That's a win for Brisbane. That is a win. To not get pinged there and to actually get a stoppage. Chris Judd gets up and says, how on earth is that not a free kick? Because the ball spills out. Well, I guess it's then trapped under his body.
There's the evener up. Charman gets the free for the push, and this time it's against Sam Jacobs.
Yeah, nice to see a free kick go Jamie Charman's way too, instead of always against Dwayne.
Power. Thought about going back again. It's a dangerous kick to Dalziel. Forced to do the tackling. That's well on Joseph.
Oh, boy.
And you can already see Brisbane going short, and if you don't get those passes right, those short passes, it does cause you a lot of trouble.
Jacobs to Russell. A fan to the open side. Tough ball. Gibbs took on the tackler. Gave it up to Houlihan. Hits to Favola. Over his head. Clyde Betts. Put this in the book. Eddie spins it around and misses.
They're playing Russian roulette, Dwayne, if they let Houlihan free through the middle of the ground. He'll hit those next time, and Brendan Favola will have another shot for goal. You cannot afford to have him with his hands on the ball with no pressure.
First miss of the season for Eddie Betts. 5 straight last week, 1 straight before that kick tonight. Simon Black the target. Clark will make him earn it.
Well, I'm not quite sure why you kick long to Simon Black when Cameron Cloak's lurking around him. They're probably, again, that's probably a win for Brisbane, the fact that it went out of bounds and Cloak didn't take the mark.
Which is one of the options now, the team zone, just to kick that big, long 55-metre kick boundary side and knock it out and start again. Betts tries to knock it on, but Black had it. Straight up in the air. Charman thumped toward the boundary. Proud. Black, 2 boys into the team for Brisbane for their first game of the season tonight. Thornton cuts it off, hands to Waite, kicks to Judd, 3 to beat, can't beat them all. Oh, he does, he almost gets a hold in the ball. Turned it over regardless. Cruiser, Cloak, Simpson, dump, pushed in the back. No, holding the ball. Selwood, got it from Black, gave it to Power, who gives it back to Black. Dalziel, and now Rich. Good kick, Jonathan Brown flies, he's crunched. Waite got back, 2-on-1, Thornton and Waite against Jonathan Brown. Thornton dives on it. Wiggins. Waite. Good contest at the moment. Crowd really enjoying this. Blues portion won't enjoy that. Drummond, inboard. Simon Black having an influence now. Jonathan Brown's already kicked one from here.
He had been running around in space ever since the initial contest, and that's a great contest there, but he gets up quickly on his feet and finds space. Brisbane have got to stop kicking to a 1-on-2 with Jared Waite sitting in front of Jonathan Brown. They're lucky that he got a second chance, but he just works hard. He just continued to push into space.
And Simon Black already only been on the ground for 5 minutes and already 6 possessions.
So he's already had his sighter from here, Jonathan Brown. Splits the middle again, and the Lions for the first time tonight in front.
Well, probably a little bit lucky. I mean, to get a second crack at getting the ball to Jonathan Brown is not going to happen too often, but the initial kick, look, he's gone for the torpedo punt out of defence. That's a sign of pressure because he'd run to the flank. He couldn't link up with a hand pass. He went for the long kick, kicked the mongrel, and that's what happens when there's a quick turnover. Look at Brett Thornton. He is distraught because the kick from Waite at half back caused a quick turnover.
I think it's what happens, Dwayne, when you kick the ball, when you rush with your kick out of defence. You can't afford it in this day and age. There's too many players back for the Brisbane Lions there, and that rush kick by Waite, I think, is unforgivable. And imagine you get a bit of a serve for that.
Cruiser and Leuenberger in the ruck. Russell backtracks. Houlihan, they reset from defence. Hadley, Houlihan, Betts. Carl with some space. Players screaming for it inside 50. Mitch Robinson was the target, missed him. Daniel Rich. Good kick. Adcock, Dalziel. Knew there was people coming. Bradshaw. Got Clark peeling for him one side. Centering kick, perfection that. Riscatelli.
Now, see, the great thing about that is he draws so much of the footy, Jonathan Brown. Everyone's worried about where's he going to lead. It just takes a little bit of initiative from some of the other options up forward to push into space, and someone that's smart enough like Daniel Bradshaw not to just have the sole focus of Jonathan Brown in his mind and pick the best option.
Well, the ball movement by the Lions is a bit too easy through the middle of the ground then. I think Carlton are playing a very attacking style of football and didn't have their men where they needed them.
Scatelli. Poor kick. Family here tonight. Key Law boy back home. Scotland. Bauer. Hadley. Wiggins getting back. Good fist. And McDonald follows his fist up and makes sure it travels out of play.
And the Carlton forwards, Jason, playing very high and trying to almost lead back into the forward 50 rather than lead up towards the ball. What would be the reason for that?
Oh, look, I think it's a twofold thing. Creates a lot of space behind, and certainly they want Fev to have that space, don't they? But if they can run and carry the ball, well, then it's a lot harder for defenders running back towards goal.
No prior opportunity for Adcock. Got out of trouble. Hatfull, McDonald, Dalziel. Little fumble, but again he mops up his own mess. McDonald, Bradshaw.
Open forward line here, Jason, if they can move it quickly.
Jonathan Brown 2 to beat again here, though.
Jared Waite's playing it well, and that's a good kick if it had hit the target.
Proud towards Drummond. Waite picked it off.
Right option.
Oh, and a little pass behind his back, if you don't mind. Some party tricks.
Globetrotters.
To Cloak. Keeps it alive. Everybody trying to pull a trick from the bag. Good tackle. Holding. Hatfull is free.
I know that kick going forward wasn't a great one to Drummond, and some great skill there from Jared Waite, but it was the right option. They weren't actually kicking to Jonathan Brown, they were kicking to Drummond, who was running into space.
That's yours, Todd.
Sherman called to play on, went back to Power, and the mark to Drummond.
Drummond's the free player that Waite's dropping off from and going to Brown to create a 2-on-1. So the Lions have to go through Drummond to make Waite accountable.
Merritt to the open side. Going to have to go to Charman perhaps. McDonald calls for an inboard. Oh, they stick to the corridor nicely.
Now Jonathan Brown's one out.
Long kick from Stiller toward Brown. A little chop to the ear. No free. Bradshaw. The handball out. Joseph. Waite. Poise. Hadley. Thornton. Very confident Carlton backline at the moment. Players peeling for him wide. Bauer.